What is up, everybody? Welcome back to On Thin Ice, the podcast where Peyton and I ask each other icebreaker questions. And this
Jacob.
day, we are talking about something that I will reveal in just a minute. Peyton, how are you doing? Got any movie updates? What's
I
what's
do.
life been going on with you?
I have some awesome movie updates that I'm super excited to share, but you and I need to talk first because I heard, and I swear to God, if the rumors are true, I'm disgusted with you. November just ended, and I heard you did not make it through No Nut November.
Oh,
Are
yeah, that's
are the
true.
allegations true?
The allegations are true. I'm going to jail.
Oh, fuck.
But
Come on, man.
I have been winning at No Shave November for my entire life. So,
I don't have drill this month in December, so it's hard to see, but I'm letting a lot of this go. I'm shaving this little bit between my bottom lip and chin, and then what connects the mustache to the chin because then it's just a fucking goatee and it's gross. But my wife said just let it go and see what happens for the month. So might do that, but I have a professional teacher picture I have to take soon. I have to meet my cooperating teachers and do a whole lot of fancy shit that I need to be clean for. We'll see how that goes.
just once, you need to grow your shit out.
I'm trying. I'm letting it. Look, I'm
No,
working
no,
on
no.
it.
Past November. I'm not talking about just letting it happen in November. I'm talking through just for a year. Just let it grow.
Well, I can't do a year because I still have drill, but after I get out of the army, maybe I will. But for right now, we got this going. This is 2 weeks. Okay. We'll see what happens in like 4 weeks. This is the most I've let it grow out at one time.
My beard is
Where we're at.
deceptively slow at growing. I know people always ask me, dude, your beard, or they assume that my beard is always gonna it just grows fast, but the reality is, if I shave like 3 inches off of this, most people can't tell, but if I do, I notice it, and I notice it for like a month and a half. It takes forever to grow back, and everyone just assumes because I have a very big long beard now that it's just always been that way. Bro, I couldn't grow facial hair to save my life before.
Yeah.
It took me forever to get this, and it's my hair still grows very, very slow. So, I think
Yeah.
that was what
Well,
happened last. I cut like 3 inches off of it, and that was like, I don't know, like 2 years ago, and it's now finally back at like 15 inches, give or take. So,
it's like half your body.
yeah, yeah. If I shave this, I look younger than you.
I
Like,
forgot that your hair also you let go short for a minute. I just saw the back
mhm.
of it going and touching your back. It's crazy. See that again.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've had long hair
You
because
gotta cut it all off again and do like just a nice comb over.
I have cut my hair um, short a couple times within the past couple years. I've kept it fairly short, but it has been a long time since it's been this long. Like it's been a
I
hot
think
minute since when I first moved to
maybe
to the Keokuk Walmart. That was the last time I had it really long.
maybe you need like just the faux hawk with the uh fade cut on the sides. Like I don't do the faux hawk, but I do the fade. You gotta do fade it up on the sides like I get, but then keep the beard, of course.
I did. I used to when I was a kid because my dad would always take me to his barber,
Yeah.
the military, like on post.
Hmm.
So, but no, I'm gonna get one of those inverted mohawks, like from the Grinch. Zzz.
Oh, okay. I know. I was like inverted mohawk. What the fuck are you talking about? It
Yeah,
grows inside your head.
no, shaved literally just in the middle. The rest of it's out.
That'd be hot.
Oh man.
Um,
Anyway,
so my movie updates. Christmas came fucking early this year, let me tell you.
oh word.
I I pre-ordered a steelbook like a few months ago. Spoiler alert, it's here now. Of course, I'm going to show it. It wasn't supposed to be here until August of 2025. And I got an email from Walmart and they said, "Hey, your shit's going to be here in 2 days." I was like, "Oh, word?" And everybody on TikTok is covering it. The Godzilla minus one steelbook.
God damn.
This is the American one, the Walmart one.
I'm not
Walmart's
surprised.
all Walmart also has this, and like not the steelbook, but they have the 4K, the Blu-ray, and the DVD in stores right now. So you should all go out and get it because I believe this is also the subtitle version of it. So
Nice.
get actual good quality. I now own 3 copies of -1 between the Japanese special edition 4K, the Steelbook, and a regular 4K that I can watch because that'll probably stay sealed forever.
Jesus
It
Christ.
bothers the fuck out of me when people on TikTok who I follow that have Steelbooks, they're like, check out our Steelbook lot, look at this, let's tear this thing open, and they just rip the fucker apart and take everything out of it. Like, man, if you're gonna watch it, I guess, but don't. Hurts my heart.
I have one
I,
steelbook.
and the better, actually, I don't know if this is better or not. I was just super happy to see it. I love everything about this, especially the art. I think you're gonna vibe with this too.
Oh, okay, that's hot.
Yeah,
That's hot.
that's the Arrow Video Donnie Darko
That is hard. Oh
box.
God.
So this motherfucker right here
I think I just
comes
shit
with
in your pants again.
oh no, it comes with a little poster. Might hang it up. It's kind of folded. Um, comes with the 4K version of Donnie Darko, and there's like 3 discs in here, so I might end up selling the extra. But I really want to rewatch this movie. It's so fucking good.
You have to rewatch it because you probably missed half of it. Like
Yeah,
it's just one of those movies, you know.
and it
But
comes with this little hardcover booklet too that's got a bunch of like interviews from magazines and whatnot, and a foreword by Jake Gyllenhaal in there, where
nice.
he basically just starts it saying, "I don't know what this movie's about. I still don't."
Hell yeah.
It's fucking great.
If that doesn't tell you anything, like, come on, man.
Yeah,
Jesus.
that's the story of Donnie Darko. Is no one understands it. No one understands why it is or what it is. But yeah, I love this little thing, and I noticed I actually have a lot of Arrow Video 4Ks. Like I have one for the Lighthouse as well and Slaughterhouse 5.
Nice.
So now I'm following them on Instagram to see if I can get one of these things sealed at some point because they have some really cool shit. So I'm gonna look into that eventually.
Yeah,
Those are the movie updates.
I only have one steelbook and
What's your what's yours?
Warcraft. That's it.
Come on,
And
brother.
the
Come on.
only reason I got it was because I wanted to see the deleted scenes and like director's cut shit, you know, like the special
Yeah.
features and whatnot. And I wasn't about to get some chump change ass fucking Blu-ray or whatever. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna full send into the steelbook anyway. I tore the shit
Dude,
out of it. I fucking ripped that shit open and I abused the fuck out of it. But now it's almost regrettable because you can just watch all that shit online now. And I have no desire like for collecting steelbooks. I don't care. Um, like personally, it's just not my cup of tea. But
that's for the best.
I guess if it's gonna be any steelbook, at least it's Warcraft. You know, like your boy's always
Yeah.
representing, always at any given time.
I will say most steelbooks now that people just love steelbooks are literally just Blu-rays in a metal case.
Yeah,
But for a lot of them, you can get like they're definitely worth it if you want to get the extra scenes and deleted shit. And it's there's also a lot of them they're doing now that are old movies coming out as steelbooks. They're usually 4K remasters that have not been 4K before. Like I know Derek's looking to try and get a 4K version of Nightmare on Elm Street, right? So
he's wanting
like,
a like a collector's set to come out though, because he doesn't want to get like we were talking about this the last time we talked. I think he doesn't want to get
yeah.
the one or whatever, and then have a collector's edition come out, and then he'd have to get that again because then he's got multiple copies of the same thing and shit. And I don't blame him.
Yeah. Yeah, I might talk about that episode at some point too, because I just watched it last night and I left some comments on your video.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Did Derek comment back or respond yet?
No one said anything yet. I'm
Oh,
waiting
okay.
for it.
I'm not always logged into that account because I'm usually logged into my Rustbeard account because it's got all my subs and everything on it. Um, so I don't get the notifications for those. Usually Derek's the one responding to those if we get a response. And then every once in a while, if I'm still logged into it after I had just like uploaded one of our episodes and I go back on there, I'll pop open the notifications just to see what's up. But most of the time, he's pretty good at keeping up with the comments.
Sweet. I look forward to hearing from him. So what's going on with your morning specifically? Any other
Bruh,
part of your day or last week is totally great, but I hear your morning was really good.
this is my second Dunkin' today. I like that, dude. So the 1-year-old, he's got molars coming in. So he woke up screaming,
Oh, yep.
blood-curdling screams. And he came in here, or his mom went and grabbed him and brought him into our bed, and we tried to just to get him to go to sleep and shit again. And he was kind of in and out for a while, which means we were in and out for a while of sleep. And that was at like 5 a.m. And then he just kept getting worse. It just like kept screaming at the top of his lungs. Then Paisley, our other dog, she's upstairs whining, which is not out of the ordinary for her to do, but it is out of the ordinary for her to do at this time. For the most part, she's good about going to sleep when we go to sleep, and she goes to sleep in her kennel because she can't be trusted outside of her kennel at night when there's no one around. And she usually wakes up when we wake up. Usually she hears like us bustling around, and she'll get up, but she usually doesn't make any noise like first thing in the morning. She's usually still groggy and shit, waking up just like the rest of us. But today, she decided to start doing it right around the same time Emmy was screaming. So at 5:30-ish,
Good time for that.
yeah, just like whining and moaning in her kennel at the worst time. His blood-curdling baby scream in one ear and this just pathetic-ass whining in my other ear from upstairs was just like, and it was muffled because it was upstairs, so it was almost like just even more of a degeneracy, just like piercing my ears for no reason. And then Meg was like, we need to take her into the other room, or do we need to take him into the other room, like in the bathroom, because he's going to wake up the girls? I'm like, no, because if we take him into the other room, Cora's going to wake up, the 3-year-old. And then we're going to be dealing with a 3-year-old, a 1-year-old, a dog, and my last brain cell. Yes, exactly. I will literally freak out. No. So she kind of got a little upset with me because I was like, no, the girls will be fine upstairs. The girls I'm referring to as my sister and my other roommate, if for anybody watching or whatever. They are adults, so if they wake up, they can be upset about it, sure, but they can just go back to sleep. Baby can't. 3-year-old can't. She's going to cry regardless because she's going to throw a tantrum. Anyway, and I'm on the verge of throwing a tantrum. So, yeah, so that all happened all at once. Paisley, for whatever reason, would not stop whining at all. We finally gave Emmy some Tylenol for his pain and shit, and he was chill for the rest of the morning. But right when I had fallen back asleep for probably like 30 minutes or so, from the other room, I hear the 3-year-old start crying. And I almost lost it, dude. I almost lost it. That was almost my last marble. Mm-hmm. My last marble almost collapsed. Okay. So, Meg is upstairs dealing with Paisley, trying to get her to shut up. I am laying with Emmy in our bed. He's watching TV, which was another noise because that was the only thing keeping him calm. So he's watching some super simple songs on YouTube or some shit. And it's all Christmas stuff right now because that's what's being played on the, recommended currently. So I've got Christmas shit in one ear. Finally, Emmy's calm. Paisley's being dealt with upstairs, and I'm finally back to sleep for like 30 minutes. And Cora just starts crying, and I'm like, oh my god, yep. So I grab Emmy. I walk into the room, and I was like, Cora, you need to lay down right now and go back to sleep just for like 30 more minutes, okay? My eyes are practically glued shut because I'm just like, I'm that tired. And she starts like calming down a little bit, and I hear Meg coming downstairs, and she's now dealing with Cora, and I'm like, she's up. She's not going to go back down. She's awake. So I take Emmy back into the fucking bed, and we're just laying there trying to go back. I'm trying to go back to sleep. Doesn't happen. So then I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to wake up. I'm just going to get up. Fuck it. You know, it's like, it's almost 7 o'clock. Why even bother, So, and then of course she's 3, the 3-year-old is going to be a 3-year-old, and she's just being defiant and all that kind of stuff. Just everyday shit. Honestly, it really wasn't a big deal had it happened later in the day. Like if this all happened at 7 o'clock in the morning, when it normally does, probably would have been smooth. But it happened 2 hours earlier. And in addition to Paisley as well. Paisley normally does not whine and bark this early in the morning. Unless something like really startles her. But it wasn't a scared bark. It was just a whining, like a whimpering. Like she's just like, you know what? I don't want to be in the kennel right now. And I'm
You
like,
know what? Everyone else is making noise. What a good time.
yeah, fuck it. Why not just have everyone have sensory overload all at the same
Hey,
time?
hey, I'm a baby too, you know? Wham.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. My molars are coming in as well. Shit. No, anyway, so we took her to the vet. We just got back from the vet right when you messaged me. Hey, saying, hey, can you record right now? I literally just walked through the door from the vet.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's all good. I mean, I'm up. I'm not going back to sleep. I don't take naps. So, um,
All right,
yeah.
calm down there, John Berthenol.
No, I don't do naps because I won't go to sleep tonight if I take a nap. Like it's just my body just hates me. Um. Anyway, yeah, it's just been a hectic morning. Crackhead energy all around everywhere.
I must say, you are a trooper if you can handle all of that noise going on. I like hate when the dogs cry and whine in the morning.
Same.
If it's at 7, they do it at 7 o'clock every morning, no matter the circumstances. I get home at 6 o'clock in the morning from work yesterday, right? And like I take them out as soon as I get home in the hope that they won't have to go out at 7.
Mm,
That doesn't fucking matter, man.
right. Yep.
I hit my head hits the pillow and it's immediately back up at 7 because
Yep.
I hear ooh coming from the fucking living room, and I'm like, God damn it, just stop.
Leave me
And
alone.
I don't feed them in the morning when I get home on purpose so that they aren't, because they have to poop immediately. They will
Yep.
go pee, come back in, eat, and then cry seconds later. As soon as the food hits their stomach, poop time.
Yep.
Like they got Crohn's or something. And they,
Oh, I ate a whole kibble. Time to shit.
yeah, oh man, the dry food really fucking me up, Dad. Let me out. You're not doing
Yeah.
anything right now, are you? No, I'm just trying to sleep, that's all. But yeah, 7 hits. Take them out again because they're crying. They come back in. All I hear is like 3 big gulps of water. And I'm like, oh no. 5 minutes later, they gotta go out and pee again.
That's awful. You got some
And then
big ass dogs too, dude.
I think
Their
40,
their voices probably carry a hell of a lot more than Paisley's does.
they do, and we've got hardwood floors, so you hear the little
Mm-hmm.
as they walk across, because they come up to the bedroom door. They come to the double doors. They
Mm-hmm.
walk straight up. You hear it stop, and you just know. You're like, it's like you get your fingers up and you just count down, and then boom, well, start crying. So yeah, 35 minutes after that, after I had taken them out twice, immediately fucking crying again, wanting to go outside. I just ignored it. I
Yep.
let my wife wake up and take care of it. At
Yep.
that point, I wanted to ask you, do you have that point where you
Hell
go,
yeah, brother.
these are your kids? Do you pull these are your kids card?
Not very often. Like there has been instances where like I have already tried everything that I can try, and I know no matter what I do now at this point is either A, gonna make me start screaming and crying and shitting in my diaper, or B, it's going to just make things worse on their end. So like, or I'm gonna start getting mean, and I don't want to get mean. So because the only
Big
time
dude.
the only time I'm ever mean to anybody, which is not mean, it's more of a like, hey, you need to go to timeout because you weren't listening kind of mean. It's not like me just reprimanding for the sake of reprimanding. It's just like, oh, you weren't listening like the other day. Actually, I think it was yesterday. Cora was not listening. Just being 3. I'm not bitching or moaning about it. She just is. She's 3 years old. She wasn't listening, so I pulled her up close and I was like, hey, we need to listen. We need to do better listening or whatever. And when mommy tells you to do something, you need to do it. And she went like this. She stuck
Oof.
her fingers right in her ears and continued looking at me like she was not sticking her fingers in her ears. I said, you need to take your fingers out of your ears right now. And she just went. So I said, all right, well, I guess we're going to timeout then. And she started screaming and crying and shit. And I chuckled a little bit, I'm not going to lie. Because
Oh yeah,
she thought she was going to get away with it. And I'm like, no. Don't
go to
ever do that
timeout.
again.
The picture of the old lady's waiting for you.
Yeah. Oh, it's up there. It's up there. She hates
Yeah.
timeout. But anyway, yeah, no, it has been a morning, yes, but I don't want anybody listening to think that like kids are awful, because they're not, and they're not. I have obviously there are days that are just not great, but it's not because of kids. It's not because of dogs. It's just it's sometimes it just happens. You know, just like the stars are not aligning to the point where it's a good start to the day. You know, and that's all right. That's all right.
Hmm.
Happens with everybody. Happens with kids. Happens with dogs. Happens with no kids and no dogs. You know, but children are just not. They're not for everybody. I am one of those people that have always wanted kids. I've always had a desire to have kids and shit, and I stand by that. Even having, not my own kids, you know, like they're still mine as much as they can be, and I love the fuck out of them. Like there's obviously bad days, but I love those kids to death. They're very good kids. Um, they're just little, you know, and there's a lot of patience and restraint that is required to have little babies, you know. So
Yep. They come into the world not knowing anything, so we gotta be really careful about shaping their entire universe because that's what they
yeah,
depend on you for as a parental figure.
yeah, and I, dude, I got spanked. You know, I got spanked and put in a timeout and like slap on the wrist. You know, like all kinds of stuff. And being an adult in 2024, knowing how that has shaped children in the past, because I'm able to look at history through that lens. You know, um, it's difficult to not resort to that because that's all I knew growing up. But at the end of the day, you just have to sit back and realize, you know, that's probably the reason I acted out so much, is because that didn't feel good, you know, and then I just became timid about it, or
Yep.
I was parented through fear a lot of the time, um, and I don't want that to happen. You know, I don't want to do that. I don't, and I don't lay a single finger on them, obviously, because that's just not necessary. You know, I think at the end of the day, as long as you're stern and like they know who you are and what they should be listening to, and who their authority figures are, it works just as much, if not more, than spankings or like swatting their wrist or whatever. You know, like there's so many better avenues than physical. Um, but yeah, it is what it is. You know, it's to teach their own. Everybody's kids are different too, but yeah, just don't. I don't know. If you don't feel like they're for you, don't have kids.
Yep. Fair enough.
It's just been a morning. That's all. Most
Wait till you
mornings,
hear about afternoon.
honestly, most mornings are pretty decent, all things considered. We've got a pretty solid routine, where I just like usually when Meg's getting ready for work or whatever, I'll take them upstairs and we'll get breakfast going and shit, and um, they eat and watch some Danny Go or Sesame Street or whatever while they're eating and whatnot. Um, then we get dressed, get ready to go to school, drop them off in the morning. And usually not very many issues at all. And then when we drop them off in the morning, I come back and I take care of the dogs, because that way I don't have to deal with them. They're at school, they're out of sight, out of mind. I'm gonna go ahead and take care of the dogs at the same time, because there's a we have a weird cycle through connection with Willow and Paisley, because Paisley does not like. Sorry, Willow does not like Paisley, but that's because Paisley has tried to nip at her before, and Willow's just not about it. Otherwise, Willow doesn't give a shit about her existence. She's just like, okay, there's another dog here. Leave me alone, and I will leave you alone.
Arthur, what happened to you?
Yeah, Arthur's coming to visit next month.
Oh no. The
Arthur's
worm.
the worm boy himself is coming to visit. We'll have to get an episode in where I can put Arthur in the episode.
Put him between two pieces of bread like I tried.
Yeah, it's just that'd be iconic, honestly. But anyway, yeah, that's all, man. It's been a fucking morning, but it's all right. Babies are at school. Paisley is not barking. She's being good. Everything's quiet, calm. There's a new Opeth album out. If anybody's into Opeth, go check that out. I haven't listened to it yet, but I've heard it's pretty solid. Um, and I've pretty much got an easy day ahead, man. I've been helping
Oh,
Meg edit some photos and stuff for this dog photo shoot that she just did, and which is really easy, chill, kind of peaceful, honestly. And I get to look at pictures of cute dogs next to Santa all day, so that's cool.
I have to do a shameless plug now because I'm pretty sure that today everything goes well. I just checked one this morning to make sure, but I've got two songs coming out today. So if you haven't heard of whatever shit Jacob's talking about, you know the infamous the new Bonnie be dropping music left and right.
Yeah.
It's a double feature today, baby. We got a remix and a single, and I got weird with the single.
Oh,
So
word.
I'm certain that Dick Down and the remix of Heavy Flow are out today. And Heavy Flow is my first time attempting doing rap music.
Wait,
Not me rapping, but
out today or
out
out
today.
or like a month ago?
Today,
Okay.
Monday, December 2nd, if that's today.
Okay.
What
Nice.
is yes, should be today.
Hell yeah. Nice, 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 nice. I'll have to go check that out. Oh, yeah, I always forget we record ahead, but if you haven't heard the new Opeth album, it's been out for several weeks now. It just came out like well, damn it. It just came out several weeks ago. Um and I still haven't listened to it yet apparently.
Dude, 2024 is gonna be crazy, all right?
Yeah.
We're not ready for this. I hear there's gonna be an election.
Oh boy. Dude, I keep on every time I pass the gas station down the road, I keep on like looking to see if the gas prices have tanked to like $1.50 like everybody says they were going to. They haven't. But I'm pretty sure they've gone up a few cents actually. So it's just weird that there's a ton of people that were just like literally spewing bullshit all over my Facebook about how the gas prices the second Trump got elected were just gonna plummet down to record low prices. And
Do people not know that he doesn't have power until like February or January or February when
yeah,
he's actually
see,
sitting in the office?
that's kind of what I thought. But it's very odd that there was just people just all over just thinking that the second he got elected and people voted for him that he's just gonna magically whoosh his fucking magic gas price wand to make him go back down to $1.50 or some shit. I can't remember the exact number, but
Wait
um,
until they hit seventh grade and they learn what supply and demand are,
yeah,
how
that's
prices work.
see. I wish I could say that, but I know for a fact that these were full-grown adults.
Damn,
Yeah,
damn, shoddy.
one of them I'm related to, so there's that. But he was making posts about, man, I hope you guys vote for Trump because I would really like to be able to travel this December to see my kids. And I was like,
You know what? Just for you, champ, I think I knew who I'm voting for.
yeah. And I'm like, dude, that's not how gas prices work. And I even asked, I was like, what do you mean? Like, what does this mean? Because you can't honestly think that in a month or two, gas prices are going to skyrocket if Kamala gets elected, right? You can't honestly believe that. Like 2 months after she's voted in, the gas prices are just going to be $5 a gallon. I don't think that's how that works, dude. But
What if? I can't even.
I
I
know.
can't even. So I must odd at
Yeah.
this point.
Let's go ahead and odd on to the topic of today. Today we're going to be talking about an extended movie update.
Hell yeah, I love movies.
But Peyton, you ever been super pumped about a movie and you decide that you just hear everybody talking about it and how awesome and funny and hilarious and or maybe how terrifying and scary and bone chilling a movie is or whatever, and you go to watch it and you're just like, huh, those people must have been fucking imbeciles because this movie is absolute dog shit. You got any movies like that? Do you know of any just really bad movies?
You know, it's funny you say that. I don't know if I can even show you my phone. In my notes. Oh, please work. It's not gonna. But the title of my notepad for this one was labeled dog shit movies. Because there have been some that I have been so eager to watch, and I get into it, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and then I wait some more, and by the time the ending hits, I can't believe I had to sit. Most of these are like I cannot believe I had to sit through that because I wanted it to turn off the entire time.
Yeah.
But usually when I start a movie or a book, I'm committed all the way through. That way I can say I've seen it. There have been very few that I've had to turn off. So
You
if
turned off Possum as well.
I went back to it,
I know, but you turned off Possum, dude. You should have just trusted. I showed you Creep, didn't I? Come on now.
hey, I
I
really
didn't steer
liked.
you astray then.
No, you didn't. Those are really good movies. However, yeah, the most recent one was The Crow, 2024.
I haven't seen it
I
yet, but
I knew it
I've
was gonna
heard.
be shit. I knew it was gonna be bad, but Moist Critical told me it was a fun bad movie. No, it wasn't.
Come on, Moist. Come on.
The only thing fun about that was that Bill Skarsgård looked really good for that role.
Yeah,
That's
but
it.
Bill Skarsgård looks good for every role he's in. So
That's true. Yeah. What a lad.
yeah.
Um, The
Speaking of
Crow.
speaking of Bill Skarsgård, I just showed Meg Barbarian in October. I don't know if you've seen a Barbarian or not, but
No.
you need to watch Barbarian. It's another scary movie, but he plays a role in it that like takes a severe left turn, and her reaction was absolutely priceless when the thing happened, which I can't say because obviously it'd be spoilery, but um, not a bad movie, so I need to shut the fuck up because we're talking about bad movies. But I think Barbarian's pretty good for what it is. So check that out if you haven't seen that yet. But
I'm adding. I'm adding a movie now, or two movies that I didn't finish because they were so bad. But the ones I did finish, The Crow. Specifically, what's wrong with The Crow? Um, I hate when movies say that they're based on comics. This one is, but it's when you watch it, it's like, holy fuck, this is based on the movie that Brandon Lee was in, which was already loosely based on the comic. There's no fucking
no.
connection.
The title was based on the comic.
Oh, yes. This does have the same
The
title
name
as
of
the
the
comic,
movie is based on the name of the comic, Peyton. That's all
and
it is.
and the characters have the same name. It's still Eric and Shelley.
Oh, okay. Sorry. The names and titles of things are based, not the actual story or plot or any threads
No,
whatsoever.
that was the thing. The fucking plot was nowhere near the same, and it fucking sucked. The
Yeah.
main villain in it, which I'm pretty sure is Colonel what's his nuts from X-Men, that's always hunting down the fucking mutants.
Hmm.
He his thing, I don't know what he is or his name. He whispers in people's ears and then they kill themselves. Like he's made a deal with the devil to live forever.
Oh,
So
word.
he that's the deal. But he doesn't whisper anything legible. He goes up and just goes, and and then they just eyes go black and they kill themselves.
What the
It's
fuck?
not I saw that the first time he said it and I was like, this is fucking dumb.
Hmm.
And I don't know why it needed to have a villain like that. That's not. It's trying to be a fucking superhero movie, which The Crow is not. The Crow is like a love revenge story about a man who hates himself for
Yeah.
what he's done. And it's just so bad. Some of the fight sequences were really cool. Like it did have the blood splatter and the CG that it needed to have in 2024 with people getting shot or cut, blown open. But dude, such a fucking drag. Um, I think Charlie already talked about a tattoo and a quote from the movie, which is when Shelley and Eric first meet, and she's got a tattoo that says "Cry now, laugh later," and Eric's response is, "Yeah, mine would say cry now, cry later." Like that kind of fucking edgy. And
Bruh.
guess what he gets tattooed?
Stop.
He gets that fucking tattoo.
Stop. No
Except it
fucking
gets
stop.
interrupted by him and her making out. So the tattoo artist is like, "Come on, man, whatever." And then he doesn't finish the tattoo. So Eric comes in later when he's got his super healing powers, and he just scribbles on the rest of the line that says "Cry later." It's bad.
That's
It's
cringe
such
as
a
fuck.
yeah. It's a really fucking awful movie. The Blu-ray looks cool, but man, I don't I don't want that in my collection anymore. I have a lot of movies in my collection that And now I watch first. Even if the steelbook looks cool as shit, I make sure that I watch first. I'll rent the fucking movie before I buy a physical copy
I
because of
still
this
like
reason.
normally I would have not taken that into consideration because you and I have some pretty harsh difference in opinions on movies. Um, so I take most people's opinions on movies with a grain of salt. Yours even more of a grain of salt than other people,
Yeah.
Mr. Fan Four Stick bullshit ass. But with this one, the consensus across the board is that it is dog shit. So um,
For good reason.
I'll probably just take that into consideration, and I'll probably watch it still at some point. But it's definitely going to be streamed. I'm not paying for it. So
Oh, what's first on your list?
um, most recently, it I don't know if it was dog shit per se, but it was super disappointing. Like it was a huge letdown because the mystique around this movie really grabbed me by the nuts. Like it grabbed and it just kept pulling hard, dude.
Was that an X-Men hint?
No. Um
You
I
said Mystique. I'm adding a movie now. I bet you know which one it is.
um no, the mystique around this movie, the mystery and mysticism and the tales of that everyone was talking about on the internet about how scary this fucking movie is and how much it will make your skin crawl was like getting me pumped. Like to the point where I was almost not wanting to watch it because I was like, dude, I don't know, because if it's disturbing as people say, I don't want to lose sleep, dude. I got two babies and a dog to wrangle tomorrow morning at 5 o'clock in the morning when they all start screaming and crying and shit. Foreshadowing. No, I'm just kidding. This was last month we watched it. Meg fell asleep 3 times during this movie.
Woof.
It was so fucking boring. And everyone online is saying that it would have been better as a short film. And that is 1000% accurate. It would have been so much better as a short film by a landslide. And that movie that I'm talking about is Skinamarink.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
That's not a new one either. That's older, right?
It's been out for, where's my phone? Where the fuck? I don't remember when it came out, but it's
Because
not super old, but
I noticed a steelbook of that, and then it got recommended to me on someone's TikTok as they were going through horror
2022.
movies. Oh
2022.
well, shit, that is recent.
Yeah.
Man, I was also thinking that might be interesting.
Well, here's the thing. It was an experimental film. Um, I don't think there are any faces in it other than I think it might show like a side profile of one of the kids' faces. It's found footage, but
Ooh,
all of the footage is still. Like there's still shots for the most part. There's a couple of movement shots, but they're all still, and they're all from angles that are low to the ground. So all of the angles of the shots are low to the ground or looking up as if it was being shot from a child's perspective.
okay.
Not handheld though. It's not all shaky and stuff like handheld. Like it's almost perfectly still the entire time. It's very grainy. It all takes place inside a house at night. The dialogue is very much reminiscent of a '90s camcorder footage, like audio quality. Very low light, very slow. However, there were 2 scenes I think in the whole fucking movie that kind of made my skin crawl a little bit, like made the hair stick up on the back of my neck a little bit, like, oh yeah, I don't like that. But the rest of the movie was so fucking boring, I would never watch it again. I would never watch it again, even though those 2 scenes were pretty much executed beautifully, like flawlessly, and made me want to go and like turn every room light on in my entire house. I would never watch it again because of how slow and droning it was. I don't care how experimental it is. I don't care how like artsy you were trying to be with it, dude. This shit's fucking boring. Like, oh, dog's barking. But like, there's no reason. Like, come on, man. There's so much potential with it too that by the 2/3, or not 2/3, but like after the first third of the movie, things should start picking up, and
Yeah.
they don't.
Oh,
And I'm just like, come on, bro. One watch through I would recommend maybe if you're curious enough about it, but it is not under any circumstance as scary as people say that it is online. It's not. There's two scenes in the whole fucking thing that I guarantee you will make your skin crawl. But other than that, I could give a shit less, dude.
I'm so nervous about watching horror movies because they always have if they're good, they're really fucking good. If they're bad though and disappointing, it's the biggest letdown ever. I feel like if there's a genre that's gonna be a hit or miss, it's gonna be horror.
That's because everyone is scared of different things. So it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to get a movie that everybody is scared of. You know, like I could see why some people might be scared of this movie. It is very unsettling, I guess, in some ways. But at the same time, these are all things that I would be scared of or I would be unsettled about. And I almost fell asleep, dog. Like I don't know, dude. I don't get it, and the horror is hard to get right because of that. And um, I think that it shows like true commitment to an actual project when someone can make a horror movie that everybody's buzzing about to the point where everybody's like scared of it and shit.
Well, what if everyone's buzzing about it except for one person, one fucking bigot that hates it? Like if I were to put Smile on my list here,
Oh well,
because Smile
that's a
2022
personal issue, bro.
is one of the most fucking boring movies I've ever fucking seen in my life. I already did a movie review with this, like
Go
there's a
watch
short for it and all you can see.
Go watch Skinamarink. I guarantee you, it's way more boring.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. Smile just, oh God, it made me cringe and like wince and laugh because it was funny. It wasn't scary at all. People are like this, the smiling part, like the victim that's you see smiling is supposed to be unsettling. I don't think it is. I've never seen a smile that's really freaked me out in a movie or in real life. Like some people just have like a weird too happy presence around me, but I'm also a very negative person, so I gotta bring their fucking attitude down. But
I gotta depress them a little bit.
yeah, I can't let them have that high horse. I can't let other people just be happy. They need
No.
to know about how awful the world is.
Yeah, they need
So
to
I'm
know so
like
they're
an
prepared.
emotional vampire. Just fucking feed off of that. Uh, but yeah, I hated Smile so much. It was just so bright and flashy. There was nothing scary. The uh the monster at the end was really cool. And that's the only reason I watched it is because I saw a clip of what that creature looks like with its fucking face and all the rows of teeth going down, all these jaws. No, it
I'll be honest.
wasn't worth it.
I thought the monster at the end was the worst part of that movie.
Really?
Yeah,
You don't like that thing? I like it just because of the practical effects used for it.
it was all right, but I think that the movie would have been better if it wasn't a supernatural thing. I think it would have been better if it was more grounded, um, like they were alluding at, like it was just like psychological the whole time. And then they introduced a fucking big ass monster, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of pulled me out of it a little bit. But I mean, overall, I still liked the movie, so like it's still okay in my book.
I think
But
the
I
movie would have
think
been
that
better if it didn't exist.
if that part didn't happen though, and it would stayed psychological, I probably would have liked it more.
Yeah, I just couldn't. I could not get into it for the life of me. I tried, but it's also one of those things. It's definitely not my style of horror at all. I like scary monsters.
I do too. I do too. Don't get me wrong. I think that the way that that they set it up to be a psychological thing with the therapy sessions and shit like that to me would have made this particular movie just feel a little bit more cohesive
Yeah,
than just saying, oh nope, big scary monster.
I think when it's a spirit or it's a curse or it's something metaphysical like that, um, I just hate it. I like to see, and it's kind of a hypocritical thing because I like to see that the victims have a chance at survival, and they sort of do because they're like, we can defeat this curse. But the second you say it's like it's a curse, my mind cannot wrap around that, and I hate it. I hate that there's not someone going around doing the killing, or it's a freaky monster. I guess some of it has to be grounded in reality, not all of it though. Because like my top horrors are like Texas Chainsaw or The Thing, stuff like that. I don't. There's so much stretch that I can give, and when you say it's not something in their control because it's a fucking curse or it's a spirit, an evil spirit. Religious stuff also doesn't really get me either because I'm just like, it's just this is just the normal church, except there's more blood.
Yeah. Well, maybe not.
Well,
Might be just as much.
they're just not drinking it.
Yeah, the church.
Well,
Well, it might be. The church is fucked, dude. Sorry for any of you religious people out there, but the church has had some doozies in history, dog.
oh, they
So,
know, they know.
so,
They just ignore it.
yeah, that's depressing.
Just the
Um,
church, which we're not going to name the ones either.
yeah, the church. Yeah, exactly. The Christian church. For the most part, I guess most churches probably have some kind of fucked up dark past, but anyway.
Oh, there's something going down in your house of worship.
Yeah. Speaking of monster films, actually, one that I know that a lot of people enjoyed, and I did at first until the ending of it. Halloween 2018. I guess it's not really monster so much as it is
Oh,
slasher, but
come on, man. Halloween 2018 was decent.
it was until the end. Fucked it all up. Completely
The end did
soiled its
not fuck it
pants.
all
Yes,
up.
it did. It soiled its pants because Laurie Strode had spent 40 fucking years preparing for this exact moment.
I
Okay?
know why you hate this one.
Yes, Laurie Strode prepared for 40 years. Not 40 days, not 40 minutes, not 40 hours. 40 fucking years. She was strapped. Okay, she was strapped. She had a whole lockdown system on her house. She had time to build a fucking movable island in her kitchen with a staircase going down to trap this motherfucker and burn him alive.
And she hides against the door.
And she hides against the door next to a glass window. Next to a glass window.
Yeah.
I think we can all see where that should have gone. And guess what? It did, because he busts his fucking hand right through and starts choking her ass out. But guess what?
I
She
mean,
lives. And then you know what she does after that? You know what she does after that?
goes to the basement.
She goes upstairs like a fucking idiot. She goes upstairs, which she knows she shouldn't do from the first several fucking Halloween movies that she is in. For fuck's sake, she does it again. And guess what? Guess what? You might ask, oh, well, it's okay because she's got a plan. No, she gets her bitch ass thrown out the fucking window
Yeah.
because she went upstairs. And you know what? Then she gets her granddaughter involved. They go downstairs and they have all this fucking shit happen or whatever. All she had to do was go straight down into the basement to begin with, trap him, get back upstairs, and close the fucking gate like she did at the end.
Oh, but we know it
Why?
didn't work.
Why would she risk her own life and her granddaughter's life by making those stupid ass rookie mistakes that she wouldn't have done because she was training for 40 fucking years to avoid these mistakes if she could have just done the exact thing she ended up doing without all that other shit?
I have to imagine. I have to. There's got to be some way that Jamie Lee Curtis argued with the director that that's not what would happen, and the director would have had to just say, "Just do it. This is how we're gonna do it."
The director's
Because
a
there's
fucking
no
idiot.
because there's no way. Like Jamie Lee Curtis should know from her most infamous fucking role that like we're doing all the bad things that don't fucking work in a horror movie.
Exactly. And it would be different if it was just implied that she did this for 40 years or whatever, but it wasn't implied. She fucking explicitly says this.
Yeah, she's been training
She's been
guns,
training. She's been
firearms.
training with her daughter. She started training with her granddaughter as well. Like, there's no fucking snowball's chance in hell for 40 years. You can master a fucking craft in less time than that. That she would have made these mistakes. There's no way. There's no way.
No.
And it really fucks me up because the first little bit of this movie was phenomenal. Was bone chilling, dude. I was in the theater thinking to myself, man, am I actually going to love a Halloween movie for once? Like, holy shit, this is solid, dude. Dude gets his fucking teeth curb stomped out of his face, and then he just drops the teeth over the fucking bathroom stall and shit. I'm like,
Yep.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah.
And, yeah, no, it's intense. And I'm like, dude, this is fucking sick. This is the best Halloween shit I've seen forever. That's the only good Halloween stuff that I've seen, to be honest with you. Because I'm sorry, the first couple Halloween movies are fucking snore fests, okay? Come at me in the DMs. I don't give a shit. But it just progressively goes that way, and I'm like, oh, dude, this is sick. And then she starts just one rookie mistake after another, the whole climax of the film, and I'm like, all right, you lost me. And then Halloween Kills, also not good. And then, of course, we have Halloween Ends, and we all know how that is.
I typed up Ends on this list just because of you said that. I still think Ends is the worst one by far.
Ends is one of the worst movies ever put out into the world.
Which is why it needs to be on this list. What is there to cover? Because nothing fucking happens. It's like, really? You're going to tell me some random fucking kid becomes Michael Myers' apprentice?
Dude, this random fucking kid manhandles Michael Myers. Michael fucking Myers.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't manhandle Laurie Strode. He manhandles Michael Myers, the embodiment of evil.
Yep.
The fucking child with the devil's eyes. The boogeyman. He manhandles him in a sewer.
Yep. That was
and then
one
just takes his mask.
I was told, don't watch this movie. And I was like, okay, the more you say don't watch it, the more I have to. And I finished it. And the person that told me not to watch it, I messaged him. I was like, that was a joke, right? They're still working on the actual movie. They just put this out there as filler, right? This isn't real.
It was so bad.
It's the conclusion.
It was so bad, dude. So bad.
Right. Halloween 1 was also bad.
Like the original Halloween one?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't think it was bad for its time. It was just boring. It's just like, I don't want to, like, if I'm watching a slasher film, I don't want to fall asleep. I want to be sitting there like, oh my God, what the fuck's going to happen next, you know?
Who's going to get it? How are they going to get it?
Yeah, exactly. Lube, no lubes. I mean, what the fuck's going on? But
are they going to raw dog him or not?
Yeah, and I fell asleep, dude. I'm like, no. And for some reason, for a while there, I was watching it every year, like, close to Halloween time, just for, like, the sentiment of it, I guess. But after this year, I was like,
no.
Why? There are so many better Halloween movies than Halloween.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I'm going to stick with my Trick or Treat and Candyman and Nightmare on Elm Street, all the good ones. I'll stick with those. I'm just going to skip Halloween from now on, to be honest with you.
That's a very fair assessment.
I don't care how uncool I look.
There's so many good horror movies out there, and so many ones that neither of us have watched. There's no point in wasting time on these bad ones.
Yeah. I think there's just been a stigma around, like, there's been like a gatekeeper-esque status around horror movies in the past. You know, people are always like, oh, well, if you don't watch this fucking movie, you're a pussy. Or if you don't have this movie in your rotation every October, you don't even like horror movies and shit. And
Yep.
I think that brings a lot of people to the point where they just don't feel like watching movies at all, you know? So I'm just trying to break that stigma where, like, dude, if it's a boring fucking movie, just admit it, all right? Just admit it. No movie on the planet has a silver stamp of fucking approval where it's just like untouchable, you know? Some people just don't like some movies. Even The Lord of the Rings. I know people that just can't stand The Lord of the Rings, and
it's full of plot holes.
It's not full of plot holes, but to some people it's not as calm and relaxing. It's more of a, like, okay, get on with it kind of thing, because it is padded. It's padded out quite a bit. I personally like it. I think it's fun. I like the more cozy side of it. I like the backstory and the world building and shit, but I know that's not everyone's cup of tea. Some people like the original Star Wars trilogy.
Uh,
I do too, but let's be honest, guys. The newer ones are better.
he said it.
I
He
said
said
it.
it.
Go ahead. Find me.
I won't take responsibility, but he's totally right. Episode 3 is the best Star Wars movie of all time. I don't care. I'll argue. I
Episode
have
3
argued that.
is intense, dude. I love Episode 3. I'm going to be honest with you. The Force Awakens up there. The Force Awakens is up there, dude. Yeah.
Ooh, no, now you're losing me. I'm going. I'm
Nope.
going. See
It's
ya.
up there.
I'm out.
It's got everything that is fun about a Star Wars movie in it. Everything that is
Okay.
fun about a Star Wars movie is packed into that movie.
Yeah, but it doesn't have a good plot. The sequels,
It's fun. It's a
they do
fun Star
start
Wars
out, they
movie.
start out good. The first one, and then
No.
right down.
I agree with that. I agree with that. But the Force Awakens is the only Star Wars movie that I'll just watch by itself. Like if I'm gonna watch
Yeah.
Episode 3, I'm probably gonna watch 1 and 2 as well. But the Force Awakens, I'll just pop in and watch the Force Awakens. You know, because it's just got it's a fresh story. Like it's based on the stuff that's happened before, obviously, but like it's its own consolidated thing. And like I
Yeah.
said, it has everything that you need in a Star Wars movie to be a fun Star Wars movie. It's got cool lightsaber battles. It's got a fucking extremely edgelord ass villain. It's got cool fucking fight sequences and force sequences. It's got like characters that I enjoy, like Poe. I love Poe. I love BB-8. I love Finn. Like there's so much to love about it, and I hate that people fucking diss on it so much.
All right, you're getting in the territory of good movies.
Fuck.
We need to
Sorry.
come. We need to come back. I
Okay.
have I have one more horror. Yeah, I got a couple horror movies, but I got one more that I really want to bitch about. I could talk about The Strangers, not Chapter One, but The Strangers from like 2006. But um, most disappointing movie of all fucking time. When you set the bar with John Carpenter's The Thing from 1982, you best believe if there's any more the lore on The Thing, people are gonna want to watch it. So when I see that there's a prequel that came out in 2011, I'm like, oh fuck yeah! If this is anything close to the first one, which it's not, I'm interested. You got me sold for at least 2 hours. Boy howdy, I can't get those 2 hours back.
I haven't seen it, so
It, it's so fucking terrible.
we're
It's
talking about
it
Strangers.
no the thing.
The Thing. Okay,
The, the
the
thing from 2011,
okay.
not the thing from 1982.
I haven't seen
So
it.
it's got the same name. It's supposed to be a prequel, but the timeline events don't line up at all. It's just a retelling of the story, except worse and at a different base. Because you can watch the 1982 one where they go to another fucking outpost and they see that it's been ravaged by some fucking creature. And there's also the helicopter flying in. They're shooting at the dog at the beginning. You can see where you'd be like, where'd that come from? How did we get here? In a prequel, yeah, you can explain all that. They don't at
Mm.
all. And it's mostly all CG. So every bit of magic, movie magic that came with the practical effects from the first one,
Yeah.
gone in the 2011 version, and it shows. Like there's a bit where a face is splitting up, and it just looks so goofy and bad because they didn't do it practically.
Well, and this is not a defense of that because I haven't seen it, but I do know that like, especially in the late '90s, into the early 2000s, and even into the mid 2000s, CG had been progressing so much, especially after Shrek. And I know that sounds like I'm sucking Shrek's dick, but it like legit changed the CG game forever. Like Shrek was a pinnacle of achievement in CG. So like after that came out, balls rolling, dude, and people are just trying to push CG as much as possible. And I think at first it was just like, hey, look at this shit. It's like so fucking cool, and this new technology's out, and blah 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 blah. Look what we can do with it. But I think it also is just cheaper. So
It might be, but
studios were able to put more money to get more product, whereas they put this much money to get this much product because practical effects are not cheap. You know what I mean? Like At least that's my understanding of it. I don't know. I'm not in the film industry, but that's how I
Well,
understand it.
fuck your understanding because I watched an interview with the directors for this movie
Oh yeah.
and they were getting questioned about it and they're like, "No, yeah, we had like all the resources to do the practical effects. We just didn't think it worked as well. So we did mostly CGI for it."
Yeah, but
Because
take the industry as a whole and how slow moving that is. And I'm gonna use WoW as an example. People have been bitching about WoW's like stuff for years. Okay, World of Warcraft's expansions have been getting memed on since fucking Warlords of Draenor. Okay, and that was like several expansions ago, and they just there was one good one before Shadowlands, and then it just kind of tanked again, and we're like, what the fuck's going on? And the developers were like, no, 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 you think you want this kind of stuff, but you don't. Trust me, we know what's best. And it wasn't until Dragonflight came out, the previous expansion to our current one, that they were like, you know what? We apologize. We see the error of our ways. We heard you guys loud and clear, and we ignored you. We know you wanted this, but we were stubborn and we kept it to ourselves. We thought that it would just be best to put this out instead. The game is in the healthiest state it has ever been in right now because they started listening to the people that consume their product. And I think it's the same with the film industry. People are like, we love practical effects. We love them. Practical effects are fucking awesome. And there's like a little handful of people over here that are like, no, CG's fucking cool. And they're like, hey, see, we got some people that like CG. Let's just roll with it. But all these people that are like, no, practical effects, practical effects. And then it's not until shit gets piss poor and like things are tanking and shit years later that they're like, okay, yeah, we probably should have listened several years ago. My bad, you know.
well, you can't apologize for this movie. And the other biggest thing that I hated about it, I don't know if it's just with new movies, but when the victims in a horror movie find a way to beat whatever the thing is, like to win whatever that stake is,
Yeah, yeah.
it's usually terrible. I don't care. I like the feeling of complete helplessness. Or like with the original The Thing, they did the blood test, right? They took
Yeah.
the hot needle and tested it in everyone's blood sample. That took a lot of thinking and work around. I would have never thought that up. In this one, for some reason they're like, "Oh, the thing can't copy or inorganic matter." And you're like, well, "That's kind of clever." But it's just like, oh, if someone has filling or a cap on their teeth, or if someone has earrings and now they don't have earrings, and the camera focus like, whoosh, look at the ear. It doesn't have an
Holy
earring
shit,
on
there's
it.
no earring in that ear.
And then you're like, oh my God, that's the thing? It's there's no nuance to it whatsoever.
What about their clothes?
It's wearing their clothes every time.
That's like not organic matter, is it not?
Nope.
Oh. Plot hole.
Oh. Nope, this is 100% vegan, organic.
This is made out of my flesh.
This is actually just skin. This is just spray painted shirt.
Hell yeah. That's all I like to
Yeah,
hear.
the thing from 2011,
Poo poo stinky.
really, really bad, stinky poo poo. It does not end in a spot where you're like, oh, I see how this transitions into the 1982 version. It's its
Yeah.
own standalone, and it's a bad version.
Yeah. I haven't watched it. I've had no desire to watch it. I've heard similar things to you. Like I said, my ramblings were not a defense of it. I can't defend it because I've not seen it, but I do know that a lot of movies have gone down that hole, and unfortunately, they just suffer for it. But anyway, uh, the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. I've watched the first 20 minutes of it, so I can't really say a whole lot of it, but that was enough. God awful, terrible, shit, poop, not good. Don't watch it.
I I
Don't even stream
accidentally
it.
I accidentally bought that version of it, and I didn't
Why?
know it.
Oh,
I had because you
oh,
told me to watch Nightmare on Elm Street, and I was like, yes, I have it on my shelf. I popped the DVD, I cut it open, and then I read the back of it, and I saw the year, and I was like,
nope,
that's not 1984,
nope, not that one.
and put it right back.
It's awful, dude. It's fucking miserable. I would urge you because you have it now. You might as well watch it eventually, but wait until after you watch the originals, just so you can compare them.
Yeah.
And I would just highly recommend watching the original ones first, at least. You know. But because I don't want Nightmare on Elm Street to be ruined based on your first watch through being the fucking awful ass remake. So watch
That's
the
fair.
original ones first; they're bangers. But yeah, the remake, poop.
Poop
Um,
poop.
which I think is a general consensus across the board. Is I think how that has been taken.
Remakes are just not working
No, it's very hard.
ever.
It's very hard to do a remake, especially of something that is beloved by a lot of people. And a lot of the times that people do remakes, it's not paying homage to the original source material. It's just trying to one up the source material. You can't do that. You know.
Yep.
And I think that's
Crow.
I think that's kind of what the Lion King live action was trying to do, was to like pay homage to the original, but like why? Why? The
I,
Lion King is
that
one of the greatest animations of all time. One of the greatest animations that has ever been put into this world. Why would you think that's okay to like redo
I
when
don't
you
know
have
because
when you have stuff that has so much more potential to be redone?
for a time, The Lion King was my favorite Disney movie. So I was like, holy shit, there's gonna be a live action. Yeah, I want to go watch this. And it did exactly that. It set my expectations high and it ruined the magic of the original.
Yeah, it didn't make any
It's
sense.
something you don't know that you didn't need until you've seen it. And that's the worst part about it is now you have to go through life knowing that you've seen it. The Mulan movie was the same way.
Awful, dude.
Dude,
No, the
fuck's
Mulan was
sake.
worse.
Yeah, it
Because
was. No Mushu.
Mulan is like easily my favorite Disney movie of all time, aside from the
Same.
Black Cauldron. And dude, they shit all over that movie. They shit in
They really
everybody's
did.
pants, dude. They shit in the audience's pants. They shit in the production crew's
They
pants. Like everybody.
they when you go to the theater and you walk in to the theater, there's a man standing there and he's just got a shirt on that says the Poop Man. And you're like, what's this guy gonna do? And you don't realize until after the movie that he's gone around and shit in everybody's pants.
Yeah. And
He
there's
pooped
another
on
guy.
them.
There's another guy shoveling shit out of the seats and stuff too.
Yeah.
Dude, I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed. And they could have incorporated Mushu in that by replacing that fucking stupid ass Phoenix plot hole or whatever with a dragon
Yeah.
instead. Why would you replace a fucking red dragon with a red phoenix that could have done the exact same thing? Why?
There's a cat banging on my door. Yeah, I don't know why.
Like, it doesn't
You know, I
dude.
think there's a trend here. There's a trend here. They need to stop using fucking phoenixes. Because
Well,
guess what? The Dark Phoenix,
I still haven't seen that either.
it's so fucking bad. I had to
I've
add it
heard.
after you said the Phoenix of whatever, so I added that. Hey, November, quit it.
Yeah, I have not
Damn
seen
cat
that,
banging
but
on the door.
I've heard some bad things. I've heard some
It's
pretty
another
bad shit.
it's another one of those that the oh, what was the last movie in the last stand? That was a better Dark Phoenix than Dark Phoenix.
Yeah,
The
I've
CG
heard.
was bad. I don't know what the budget was, but obviously they didn't give a shit about costuming anymore. And then there was a massive subplot with aliens that didn't make any sense at all.
Hmm.
It was just kind of forced in there. It was like watching two different movies, and both of them were bad.
Nice,
Fucking
nice. Yeah,
people ruining movies with phoenixes.
I haven't seen that one. Um, I don't want to see it either, to be honest.
You don't need to.
Same with the Marvels. I don't want to see the Marvels either.
That was on my list of did not finishes. I came in while Lou was finishing it up. I watched the last 30 minutes and I was like, ooh, every single time a line of dialogue was spoken, I was like, ugh,
Yeah,
ew,
that's on my list of
stop.
that's on my list of did not start.
Did not start. It's not worth it.
I've heard similar with Madam Web. Not gonna watch that.
Yeah, we watched it in theaters. It's pretty bad.
I won't. I will not watch it. Um, I've heard some
I
pretty
have
cringe shit about the new Venom movie.
It's fun. It's more fun than a lot of the dog shit that Sony's been putting out. It's worth a watch, but that's all I
So
can give
Sony
you on
doesn't
it.
have too many wins though, dog. I
No, they don't. But
Other
like,
than the
if
Spider Verse movies, they really ain't got nothing.
I really liked the first Venom. I did not like Let There Be Carnage at all. And Venom 3, I was like, I just want to see some symbiotes, some other ones, and I just want to, I don't know, it's Venom. It's just a little bit of fun. It's still really terrible, but like it's more entertaining than most crap superhero movies that have been coming out. One of which is Blue Beetle, that's on my list, which I'll get a lot of flack for that. I just need to check the stats on Blue Beetle now because
Derek said it was good.
people hate me talking about Blue Beetle, but I hate Blue Beetle so much.
Derek said it was pretty solid
2023.
for a DC movie, but DC hasn't really put the bar very high either. So
It's just so fucking colorful and awful looking that it's like watching the Spy Kids movies. Also because it's got
mm,
George Lopez in it. It has no homage to any like Hispanic roots at all. If you want to see a good Blue Beetle, watch any of the animated Teen Titans movies, like the DC animated ones. If they're rated R, that's where it's at because they're cussing and there's blood and shit.
oh yeah,
But no, Blue Beetle is just so. It was the most copy and paste fucking terrible thing ever. That it's like, hey, we have the angsty teen who's sweaty and he likes girls and he's gonna meet the girl. The girl's gonna be the object of desire. We have to introduce a villain. They don't need any kind of motivation at all. He just has to be a villain that's really tough to beat and a good competitor. And then the character has to like grow and develop, I guess, and by the end of it, they have to defeat the villain. They have to win. They have to go through a little bit of hurt, but everything has to work out for them because the good guy always wins. That's the whole plot. And then it's like, well, we'll be really meta kosher with this. We're up with the times, so we're gonna make sure that this is heavily Hispanic. And it's not. They just sprinkle in a little bit of it. It's like when you say you're a feminist, so you go, okay, we're gonna make the superhero say that she's not going to take shit from men, and that one dialogue is going to be how the whole thing is feminist, and it doesn't work. Can't do that. You don't have to beat your audience over the head either. Like if you want a good movie, we'll figure it out for ourselves.
yeah.
Beetle looks like a fucking Nerf gun, dude. I can't stand that
Oof,
movie.
not a fucking Nerf gun.
Yes. Well,
I'm trying to
did
think
you
of
have
some more bad movies. Cabin Fever, not good. Just recently watched that. Well, not recently. I guess I watched it like September, but um, yeah, was not good. Um,
the only
let's
other ones on my list? Pacific Rim Uprising, bad sequel. I didn't remember how bad it was. The original's incredible. The next one is mostly like just big robot CG fights, and they're not like good camera angles at all. They make all the mechs look really small. The monsters aren't that cool. The kaiju are not that cool. Storyline fucking sucks. There's nothing going on in it.
hell yeah,
It's just so boring. It's like when people say that Kong versus Godzilla or any of the MonsterVerse movies are cool because it's big monsters fighting. That's not fun for me. There
yeah.
has to be more than that.
Speaking of fighting, Mortal Kombat, the Mortal Kombat movie that came out
Oh fuck yeah, I
a
forgot
couple
about
years back,
that.
that was a pretty big letdown because the trailers for it were sick, dude. I was like, okay, I'm pumped for this shit. It looks like a pretty solid ass Mortal Kombat rendition. And it came out, and they had made up this entirely new main character for the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't tell you his name. I don't know. But the main character was the worst part about the whole thing, the most forgettable, the most fucking Wonder Bread ass person I could possibly
Wonder
think of.
Bread.
Like literally no flavor whatsoever. And I enjoyed all the other characters more than the main character, and it just made the movie tank for me. Um, so that sucked. That was a big disappointment. Big disappointment.
Yes, sir.
Um,
Yeah, I can't remember any of the details of that movie except like he fought someone, which in a Mortal Kombat movie, yeah, that should probably be true.
Should be. Yeah, he was awful, terrible, terrible, terrible. Um,
The Pizzaverse,
Terrible.
that one was rough. That's hard to get through, and that's only an hour.
all joking aside, I've actually been like heavily considering trying to make steelbooks of the Pizzaverse.
That's an expensive process right there.
Well, I'm talking like three of them, like one for me, one for you, one for Toby.
I know it's still though like anytime I've tried to find people that make steelbooks and custom steelbooks, they usually have to order a full like 800 pack lot,
Oh yeah,
which will cost you because they have the stores on like Etsy and whatnot. They have a collection of steelbooks that they have. They ordered theirs, they made them. Now they're there. They don't just have a blank steelbook that they can print shit onto.
yeah,
Like even my cherry one that I have, right? That I've shown off before. It's not a real steelbook. The steelbook does not exist. This is a steelbook of a different movie, and it's just got this little fucking. It's a magnet. It's a fridge magnet,
right,
but it's glossy, and you stick it on the front, and that's not the same. I hate it.
yeah. I don't know. I might look into it. I know somebody that does screen printing and T-shirts and all that kind of stuff. So maybe they might have a direction that I could go for something like that. But
Can you do that, but on metal?
yeah, could you like screen print on a piece of metal for me? Yeah, I know. I could probably talk about bad movies all day, but honestly, that wraps them up for my like most egregious ones. I think.
Yeah, me too. And I've even added some just hearing you talk.
Yeah, yeah. There's some bad movies out there, guys. Let us know down in the comments what your worst movies of all time are, or at least the most disappointing. What were some movies that you were pretty hyped for that you went and seen, and you were like, they really shit the bed on this one, dude. They really shit the
Oh,
bed.
oh, easily The Lord of the Rings, Black Cauldron, fucking Dark Knight, dude. Some really bad movies out there. We're talking pure unadulterated shit.
I just want to remind anybody watching that this man watches Fan Four Stick and enjoys it.
I watch
Just let
it.
that sink in.
I don't watch it that often, but when I do, it's
He
okay.
he enjoys it. Just let that sink in. Um, and he's over here
Guilty.
talking shit about one of the highest grossing films of all time. But
I'm
what do I
joking
know?
with you. It's good.
No, it's great. Put some respect on my name. Yeah. Put some respect on my name. Yeah.
Once you end the episode, that was awful.
Make sure you like this video and subscribe if you want to see anything else like this or whatever else we have on the channel. We got a ton of stuff on here. And yeah, check out our Instagram where we post some funny shorts sometimes. And yeah, comment on those as well so we can talk to you. Bye.